Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Me, Mr. B. It's Friday, and it's the takeaway. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and good evening. How we doing, CALLULA?
Feeling good.
Don P.
Good. Just finished watching other stuff.
It's all right. You're allowed to say Love Island on here. It's fine. It's all right. We won't
mentioning those words on a football show.
Listen, there's a certain 6'7" presenter on our channel that watches Love Island as well. So don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry. You're in good company. Stoney.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Mr. B, for inviting me onto the show. I've been watching other things. Unfortunately, it wasn't the same program that Don P has been watching. But yeah, just here and look forward to this evening's show.
Gamza, how we doing, man?
Yeah, I'm all right. I've been watching other shows, Premier League years and all that. No, I'm good. I'm happy to be back on. It's about time I got an invite again. You know, you saw Partey was injured and my phone started pinging off, guys. So you know what time it was. So.
Listen, I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. I have no idea what you're talking about. We'll get onto whether or not Partey is going to be available for the next game and whether there's going to be enough chicken dances done tonight to get him to play tomorrow or not. But we'll get into that in good time. Solo, we see you, man. Welcome to the madness, bro. We're not going to talk takeover. That's already been done. The damage will be done in the summer with whoever takes over. So we'll try and bypass the whole of that. But look.
But can I just ask you a question on that, though, Mr. B?
Of course you can.
Yeah. So what happens? All I've heard about is this soft deadline. So when is the hard deadline? When is the deadline?
The soft deadline is pre. Okay. Is the warm up stage.
Yeah.
And the hard deadlines when I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay.
To be honest, I have no idea. I'm assuming they put their bids in, and then it's not closed off. So if somebody bids 5, then maybe somebody could come in next week and bid 5.5. I don't know how it's going to work, bro. That part of it is above my pay grade, I'm afraid. Somebody in the chat may well tell us. Good evening, Brush. We see you, man. Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. I'll really be honest. I have no idea.
So in theory, the current people that have expressed an interest, they can actually pull out. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, and they probably could pull out. Yeah.
I like.
Oh yeah, they could. They might not. Obviously we're a big club and bigger than certain other teams across the way. But obviously, look, this is what it's about. I'm afraid. The fixtures just gone. Interesting week. To be fair, we'll just touch on it very, very briefly because obviously it's a preview show, not a review show or a reaction show. But Gamza,
I knew it was coming.
Talk to me, man.
It's been a bad few weeks, if I'm honest. Yeah, I wasn't expecting some of the results. The City one is 50-50 throw-up. Do you know what I mean? When you play a top 6 team, but the Everton one is damaging, crushing, and the Brentford one, it is what it is. We was waiting for it. I think a lot of Arsenal fans knew we wasn't going to go and carry on the same way all season. But I don't think we thought it'd be 3 games in a row we would be dropping points like this. I thought you might lose one here, go another 4 games, then you might drop a few more points. But to kind of lose that 8-point gap we had within a matter of 14 days or something crazy like that, like it's damaging. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just hoping we can bounce back. But it's a long way to go. City is City. Do you know what I mean? But I just can't get overtaken by United. I think that's my biggest fear. I don't even care about the top. I don't want United to catch 5 team, boy. So it's been a horrific week. 2 weeks for us. Do you know what I mean? But this is now if we are a new team. You know what I mean? We've seen Arsenal have these blips. It's whether we can kind of bounce back. So it's not going to be an easy game on the weekend. But yeah, I'm hoping the boys just bounce back and then we can kick on again.
I get that. Stoney, your boys.
Yeah, listen, it's just a result. I won't be doing any cartwheels. I won't be doing any backflips or any moonwalks. For us, it was 3 points. We had the opportunity to see a few of our players that had actually been injured managed to get back on the bench. Jota got some game time. Bobby got some game time, and we should have Virgil back for when we play against Newcastle. So, yeah, interesting setup by Everton. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say that. They probably set up the same way that they did against Arsenal. I think the only difference would have been is that Calvert-Lewin would have played up front against Arsenal and Sims played up front against us. Look, we got the result, and we just focus on the next game against Newcastle.
Don P.
I just want to respond back to Mr. G, Mr. Gunner now, my neighbor. Interesting, man. Talking about, I remember a few years ago, a team from the other side of London was saying to all Tottenham fans, "Oh, how can you finish third in a 2-horse race? How can you finish third in a 2-horse race? So if United do overtake you, oh my gosh, you and your fellow man them are going to get it." That's all I'll say on that front, boy. But apart from that, all I can do is smile. I can be positive. I've obviously, as a Tottenham supporter, I've got very strong resilience that I've learnt to kind of build throughout my number of years supporting the team. And yeah, onwards and upwards.
CALLULA, previous week's game, league game. Don't do Barcelona.
Oh no! I want to go
Leeds.
to Leeds game. It's a weird one when you've got Leeds. Having the same team so quick in succession, I do feel like that it was good to see us win at least the second one. And adapt and do what we need to do. But I do want to touch on Don P, because you know what, I really respect that about you. You know, I really respect that you still got hope as a Spurs fan, because that's some dedication you got there, man. Onwards and upwards, you know. I'm waiting for your upwards. That is for me. Honestly, I know you're cussing out the gunner, and I get that because we're gonna get you. I'm really sorry about that. But when a Spurs fan tells you that, you gotta think: have you guys really dropped the bottle?
Do you know what's funny, CALLULA? He asked how his weekend was, and he coming straight for me. He didn't even touch on the 4. I'm let you have your moment, but
listen, what are we going to talk about except for misery?
yeah,
Give the guy a chance, man. He's got to talk about you, because he can't talk about nothing else other than his new pitch and the water noises when he's at the pitch.
Previous week went really, really well for a couple of teams and not so much for. I mean, look, I'm glad you picked up on that, Gubs. I did. I'm glad you did focus that. Obviously, they didn't do too well. United, we've got Leicester this week. Thoughts on the game? What do you think's upcoming, and a little score prediction as well, guys? If there's anybody in the chat, just hit the score prediction button. I don't need to go through the team selection like Solo does. Just a score prediction, guys. Score prediction, Gubza.
Were you playing at Old Trafford or?
But we are our names first, so I assume that we're playing at home.
Yeah, Leicester had a good result against obviously Spurs, but I don't know if that was Leicester turning a corner or Spurs were just being Spurs. So I'm gonna go with the latter. So I don't know if Leicester got enough to stop United. Rashford's in the form of his life at the moment. He looks unplayable. So I think as long as he's on the pitch, you lot will score a goal or two. So I'm going to go with United 3-1. I'm not too sure is Martinez injured, because I know he didn't play against Barcelona.
No, he was suspended against Barcelona.
Okay, so he'll be back in there. So yeah, you look strong. So I'll go 3-1 still. And yeah, I think it'll be a comfortable win for you lot, if I'm honest.
CALLULA.
You know, I've always said it. I'll be honest. Our team likes suffering. So I agree with the one that they'll get. But I do think we're going to come back and I say 2-1. Because I feel like we've got it. It's Leicester. I know they're fighting. I know they're fighting to be... I feel for them because Leicester, a few years back, they were a lot higher than they are now. But, you know, it's tough, isn't it? So Leicester's going to be Leicester. They're going to have the fight. We have to be very careful. We can't be slow. We've got to make sure that we get in it on the first half. And even if we concede a goal, which we're good at the minute, we should go forward. So I'm going to say 2-1. But we can't take the mickey because, you know, it's still the Premier League.
Just before I go to you, Stoney, Donovan Williams, Leicester is a possible banana skin. They're fighting for survival. We're coming off a high against Barca. We must be focused because Leicester will be up for it. Sorry, Neville. Yep, Donovan, I agree with that totally. Stones.
Yeah, 100% as well. About that
Stoney.
as well. I think I agree with Donovan Williams' comment there. I actually think Leicester are going to win 2-1. Madison's in quite a good rich reign of form at the moment as well. I think you guys' goal is going to come from Rashford. Even if you look back through recent results, I know history never ever predicts anything for the future, but these games that you guys play against Leicester are always unpredictable. So I know there's been like 2-1s for you guys. There's been 4-2 victories. There's been 3-1s. There's been draws that have been 2-2. So you can't really call this game. But yeah, I just think Leicester are going to come away with a 2-1 victory.
Don P.
Yeah. Know that they took us to, what is it, Arms Guard? Where's 4 from? Where's the, I can't remember what the 4 from. Anyway, so they did to us last week, but even it wasn't just us though. If you look at their previous game, they also Villa also held 4, so they beat Villa 4-2 as well. So Leicester have been on a rich vein of form over the last 3 or 4 games. So don't sleep on Leicester. That's all I would say. But it's at Old Trafford, and I assume Casemiro's back from his suspension.
No, he's got one more game. No, he's got one more game. This is the final one.
So who have you got in the middle, or are you like a donut again?
We've got. I assume we're gonna play Sabitzer and fucking Fred.
Okay. See,
yeah.
Ooh, that's a big thing. So you ain't got no middle now, yeah.
So listen, Fred better get his passport back from Casemiro, even if he's not playing. I swear to God. Fred needs to stop it now.
No, but I think with Fred's one of them players that he's like, who was the guy that you had from Korean Yusung Park? He plays good against the bigger teams. So like,
Who
if you
does?
give him a role to...
No, Fred plays to a role. If Fred has to run around
he played good against
and track somebody.
He played good against City, didn't he?
Yeah, because his role was to track somebody.
Exactly.
Don't ask him to play free football.
Exactly.
If you're giving him instruction, he'll follow it. But Fred's not a good player, bro.
No, I'm not saying he is a good player. What I'm saying is he tends to play good against the better teams. Now you're playing against a low to middling team. I think you're going to be exposed, because he's going to be exposed, because now he's not going to be chasing anyone. He's going to have the ball in it, and he's going to have to do something with the ball. And
this is the problem.
That's the problem. That's where he's lacking. And Sabitzer, as I said before, it's like he might as well been retired since he's been in Germany in the Bundesliga, because he hasn't been able to get a game for Bayern Munich. And whenever he's played, he's
do you know who Bayern Munich have got in their midfield? Just say.
I appreciate that. But when he has played, though, he has stunk out the place as well, though. Mr. B. He hasn't. Go on.
Can I just jump in, Mr. B? You shut my man down just now when he's talking about Fred. And what you got to understand, you're talking from a position of power. So what you identify as a good baller is completely different to what them man identifies as a good baller.
Yes, mate.
To say Fred's a good baller again. He's dealing with something completely different. So that's why I just put that piece in there. Carry on.
Sorry, Shorty Boys just said Fred's hot and cold. Yeah. Montreal FC is saying that Casemiro's still banned. And Donovan Williams, that's the thing. No Casemiro, and Madison is in good form. Sorry.
Yeah. So I think I might actually go with what Stoney's saying. I'm going for a Leicester victory. I think it'd be relatively tight. Yeah. Trashford might still score as well. So yeah.
Did you just say? He's calling him Trashford after what he's done. After what he's been doing, you're still going to call him Trashford?
No, what I will say, yeah. As my learned colleague, my fellow Tottenham supporter, Mr. Pipes will say, every clock will tell the correct time at least once.
That's your team. That's not Rashford. But Mr. B, let me step in here. How can he say that? Well, when he's got the most non-aerodynamic player because Harry Kane can't close his mouth. He would run faster.
Got more goals than Trashford. Got more goals than Trashford.
No.
He's got more goals. He's got more goals than Trashford.
How old is he? How old is he? How old is Ben score? What's his name? Your number 10, your 10-foot guy that hasn't scored. What's his name? No, but you know what I mean.
No, how old is he? And he still ain't scored no goals.
Don't be saying your clock thing works for you guys. It's not the same. You're trying to compare magnificence to a guy that literally just needs to close his mouth and he'd be better.
I've got one here for you, Shirley boy, Trashford. How's Richarlison doing? He's not told the time since last season.
He told the time once in Europe. He scored a double in Europe in the Champions League. Yeah, to get out to the next round of the Champions League. But no, yet. Yeah, well. But no, Leicester victory. 2-1.
Leicester victory. I think the only person we need to watch is Iheanacho, to be fair. I think he's the player to be watching.
And Madison,
that's the one on my arm.
Sleep on him as well. Yeah.
We'll see.
Who you got playing?
Villa. Yeah, go on.
No, I was gonna just say.
Who have
you got playing right back? Because Harvey Barnes has been playing quite well as well. For
yeah.
We've got a choice. We'll have Wan-Bissaka or Dalot. I assume he's going to play Wan-Bissaka, to be fair.
I think it's going to be Wan-Bissaka.
Who do you two want him to play?
Wan-Bissaka.
I want Wan-Bissaka.
Mr. B?
Yeah, in this game, I want Wan-Bissaka to play. I want Wan-Bissaka to play in this game. Harvey Barnes is causing a bit of a madness at the moment. I want somebody to shut him down. So I'd rather have Wan-Bissaka playing. Matthew Bassett, you rival fans better not be dunking on Fred. Only Man United fans can. Brush, listen, Brush, listen. We got Veghorst from Poundland. How many goals has £60 million Richarlison scored? We've got one from Donovan, and a broken clock will tell the correct time at least twice, not once. Surely be. We should be fine. Spurs got clapped because. Sharf, you know what? My eyes are bad. I'll tell you what I thought he said. Yeah. We should be fine. Spurs got clapped because they had Pedro Pascal in defence. I thought he said something about pedo, so I thought I can't read it. Sorry. My eyes are bad, man. Wan-Bissaka to start. Sorry, that one fight. Sorry, but the pause was me trying to catch up on what I should have read first, to be fair. Villa Newcastle.
Your eyes are really bad, guy.
Yeah, my eyes are really, really bad, bro. My eyes are really, really bad. So Villa Newcastle. Do you know? I'm actually going to start with you, Kallula.
Mr. B, Villa are playing Arsenal.
That's what I've got now. What did I do?
You said
what have I
done?
Twice.
No, I didn't.
You did. You did do.
Early signs of dementia kicking in, boy.
You're killing me, Mr. Oh, no.
Okay, sorry. So we're gonna go Villa, Arsenal. Did I really say Newcastle?
Why? Kallula's all clapping.
That means I did. Get stuff, Kallula. So right, we're gonna start with Villa. We're gonna start with Villa, Arsenal. Kallula,
right.
Go for it, please.
Right. Oh, Mr. B, shout out to you. I love you, man. Right. Villa is one of these teams. We saw them even when they knew at the end of one of the previous seasons, they still beat Man City. And Villa's one of those teams that sometimes they can wake up out of nowhere, and I feel like they wake up against the top 6 teams. Arsenal's got to watch out because I don't know how much it has wavered them with the last match, especially where I want to ask you, where was your keeper? But like some of the goals, I was like, your keeper decided, nope, I'm the new striker, because he was nowhere near the goal. It was like, what were you doing? I was watching that match and I was like, like literally some of those goals, I was thinking, what's going on? So if Arsenal are Arsenal that was winning the league, Villa hasn't got a chance. If Arsenal are the Arsenal that wants to go to a fun fair, you know, that's where it is. It's if they bottle it or not. I actually think Arsenal should win 2-0, but you never know. Arsenal...
After all of that, you think Arsenal are going to win 2-0?
No. Arsenal that was winning the Premier League should win 2-0, but that fairy tale land of Arsenal going on the magic roundabout, like that Arsenal I saw the other day, they're losing 1-0. So Arsenal's got to wake up and realise they need these points.
Gamza, I'm not even going to let you have to wait for that.
No,
the floor's yours.
I'm not even going to deny it. It go either way. I think what people are sussing now, we saw it against Newcastle, and since then, we are struggling to break down low blocks. I think the statistics come out against City. We had a lot more of the ball. I know they were winning, so we're going to dominate the ball again. But I think someone said that's the least amount of possession Pep Guardiola's ever had in a game. And we got beat 3-1. We drew with Newcastle, Everton, low blocked, and hit us with pace and power. Brentford notoriously strong at the back, and do you know what I mean? And then they break with two up front with Ivan Toney and Mbeumo. So it's the kind of systems we put out there. And United also, we went to Old Trafford, United defend well and counter on us. So I think teams are now waking up very much. So it's defend deep, block out. Do you know what I mean? Don't let them play the intricate stuff and you'll catch them on a break. So the longer a game stays at 0-0, the more nervous the fans are going to get. Emery is a defensive manager, so this is right up his street to set up to combat Arsenal, what we have in attack. So it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be an easy game. I think we may nick it 1-0. If we get a goal in the first half, we may go on to win by more, but I just know Unai Emery's a very good defensive coach and he lives for these kind of games. So he's going to set up really tactically astute. We're not going to find it easy to break him down. And it's whether we can keep Ollie Watkins quiet, because, again, him on the counter could be a problem with like a Leon Bailey. So, yeah, I can't see us blowing them out the water. I think we're going to be very sceptical of the defensive side because we conceded a few goals of late. And Brentford should have beat us, really, and honestly. Like, Ivan Toney missed the sitter. Everton could have scored 3 in the first half. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a walkover at all. If we win, it's a 1-0. I'm going to stick with the win because I can't be out here predicting we're going to draw or lose. But it's going to be tight. I'm not. Yeah, I'll go 1-0 Arsenal.
One second, Dumpy. Ashley Matthews here. Why is us Arsenal fans worrying about Villa? It's a win. We ain't played, haven't played bad recently, and again he's saying easy win. Sorry, Don P, go on.
No, I was going to ask Gunnar, why? What's the latest on Thomas Partey? Is he going to be fit?
They haven't said, to be fair. They said there is a muscular injury and they're going to assess him. So, yeah, and we've seen our record without him. I did think Jorginho played well, but yeah, I think it's time for us to change something as well. You know, like we've been playing the same 11 consistently. It's working, but the last 3 it hasn't worked. So for me, it's like it's now maybe time. After going into the City game, we don't want to change it, but after we lose that one, we may have to mix up a little bit. I want to see Trossard play.
So I was going to ask you, do you think that he deserves to be playing? I would have said instead of Martinelli, or is it somewhere else on the pitch?
If people watch the Armory TV, they know I'm not a Van der Shaka. I don't like the guy. There's some games I would play him, and there's some games I won't. Unfortunately, he's one of the games for me. He's not creative enough in the last final third to play that 8 role. Like it works when we're defending, he's strong, but when we've got the possession and we need to open up someone, he doesn't offer anything really. And honestly, so for me, I would actually play Trossard in that 8 position. Martinelli has been bad, so I expect he's going to be the one to miss out this weekend. He hasn't played well since the World Cup. So for me, Trossard has to come in, but it's where you play him. I've put him in the preview that I'd play Tierney left back, put Zinchenko centre mid next to Jorginho or Partey, and put Trossard on left. I think we just need to do something different now. Yeah, I think it's 3 games of 4 games if you include the FA Cup game where we haven't won. So sometimes you need to mix up a bit and surprise the opposition team. So for me, this is maybe a chance to go and try something a bit different. We've got about 4 or 5 fixtures which should be winnable before we play another big team. So let's try something different and see if we can get a bit of momentum going again. So that's what I would personally do.
Stoney.
Yeah, no, I think interesting as well. I think even based on that, I think you're right about Ollie Watkins and Bailey. But I reckon they're going to make the difference playing against you guys going into this fixture. How do you think the balance with is it Jorginho coming in from Chelsea? I know it's early days, and him obviously being in the middle of the park with Jack is going to be quite interesting in this particular fixture. You'll be up against Luis and is it Kamara? I think that plays centrally with them. One of the things that was quite interesting that you actually mentioned, right? You almost sounded like Jurgen Klopp there at some stage. Now, hear me out, right? You were mentioning about Arteta not being able to break down the low block. Now, I recall when Jurgen Klopp was mentioning last season about teams playing quite deeply and us probably not having a player that can actually break down teams with low blocks. People were berating him. But now it's happening to Arsenal. It's actually quite interesting. Who from midfield do you envisage that's going to break down a low block if Villa play in the tactical setup that you actually mentioned? Who from midfield is going to do that? Because in fairness, Odegaard, he's been quiet. The last 6 games, he has been very, very, very quiet. I'm not questioning his ability. I think he's a wonderful player, but he's been very quiet for you guys.
Yeah, for me, that's why I said I might try Trossard in there. We've got good passes. Odegaard's a passer, but what we've seen with other teams, they've really blocked the passing lines off, like almost 5 at the back. So there's not much space to cut it open. So for me, when you have something like that, you need someone who's going to beat a player or two in a small area, which might draw another player in, which then creates space elsewhere. So for me, that's what I've said. I would try Trossard in there. I don't think Fabio Vieira is ready, and we've seen Smith Rowe. Of just being, he's not going to be properly fit for a little while. He came back from injury and he picked up another injury. So, it's like when you've been out that long, it's going to take a while to get him going. So, I would try Trossard, if not, maybe put Zinchenko in there. Because we have got a solid left back in Tierney. So, that's, that for me, that may be a change we may look to do. But, we need something because, we're lacking. And we don't really make third man runs either from midfield. Recalled a Man United game last year when Fred just kept bombing in behind off the back of us and we couldn't pick it up, and none of our midfielders give us that either. Do you know what I mean? It's very pass it, just keep it moving, but no one actually makes the Aaron Ramsey style run late to the back post. So I think that's where we lack a bit of creativity, and it's a bit of that box to box who's actually going to get in the box, not just we play between the boxes. So for me it'd be Trossard. I'll give him a go in midfield.
Cool. All right. My prediction is a 2-1 victory for Villa, by the way, okay?
Don P.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because I've heard certain of you, man, was talking about that what you do is because even though Martinelli's not been playing good, you still wanted him on the pitch and you want Trossard on the pitch. So in order for you to accommodate both of them, that you'd actually sub Mr. Eddie Murphy lookalike.
Not me.
In terms of Eddie, So you take him out.
You're gonna keep him.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Eddie. I think he gets a hard time from Arsenal fans, man. Like, again, it's not agenda driven, but people have got their favourites. I'll be honest. When anything goes wrong, I'm looking straight for 34. Where is he in that? It's his fault. That's me. Eddie, I had people talking about Martinelli's in bad form and it's Nketiah's fault, and it's like Martinelli's not doing what he needs to do. Stop pinpointing everybody else to kind of suit the agenda. Like,
and even a lot of you, man, they even accepting that it's Martinelli's fault because they're saying because Shevchenko's in the team, he's not overlapping or underlapping with him because he's just coming in the field, but he's not really running past him. So he's always got that one man. That's how Pep styles, isn't it? That's how he. But his wingers, but like Saka can get past his man 1-on-1, and it's a bit different.
That's the thing. It comes down. I get the systems. Equally, I do feel we watch our Arsenal play. Zinchenko comes inside, which releases Xhaka. So if anyone's not doing the underlapping run or overlap, it's actually Xhaka's not doing enough of those runs. But again, same time, when Trossard's coming on, we're playing with the same Xhaka and Zinchenko, and Trossard's effective. So I've got to look elsewhere because Martinelli's maybe a one-trick pony where he wants to get the ball down and run at you, whereas Trossard's playing off 1 or 2 touches and it's opening up space, and defenders don't know if to get tight or not. So sometimes you have to mix it up. We've all probably played football to a good level, and if I'm playing against someone who's doing the same thing every time, it's easy now to mark. Whereas if you can mix it up, I don't know if to stick or twist, because when I got close, you passed it. When I stood off, you ran at me. So what do I actually do? And I think he's just become a bit more of a one-trick pony. So we need to, I would start with Trossard personally, and leave Eddie and Nketiah where he is. I don't think.
I disagree with you. The problem is he doesn't adapt quick enough. He doesn't look at the situation. We all know that it depends on what team you're playing, and that's the main issue. You can't, and don't act like the teams aren't watching. When someone's doing the same thing over and over again, catches up with you, and that's the problem. You've got to have the right communication with the other players as well, and I don't think that that's there with Martinelli. I feel like he just wants to do the same thing, and that's it. And when anyone else is adapting around him, it's not working out because of that. And he needs to look at it, flow more with the team, and adapt. That's why I would replace him. And
do you think that's a good point, CALLULA. Do you think your manager Arteta is culpable in any way of your results of the last 4 or 5 games?
Again, I'm quite a big Arteta fan. I look at the Man City game. Setup was right. We not controlled the game, but we didn't get overrun or nothing like that. I look at the 3 goals of big defensive mistakes. All 3 of them were due to us losing the ball in bad areas, and they punished us. And we've been getting away with that. Like Brentford should have punished us more. Everton had chances, but obviously they're not the quality of City. He's got his system. He's got his style of play. However, I feel it's more the lack of quality depth, which is probably what's killing us now. Because like you're all saying, Martinelli hasn't really been good since the World Cup. But it's like, who do you replace him with? I know we've got Trossard in now. Partey's been an issue since last season. We've all seen it when he's injured. We drop off a little bit, and it's Jorginho.
Yeah, but you got Jorginho. Yeah.
So time will tell. But he's got to take some blame. But I'm not saying we're playing badly. We're just lacking a little something. For me, it's the 8. That's the next area we address. Goal scoring midfielder. You've seen it. So if we have someone like James Maddison now, problems. Do you know what I mean? Someone who can do that little bit extra in the final third. And it's not saying Xhaka's a bad player. He's just not. And you got midfielders that can play different roles, haven't you? Some centre midfielders are more creative. Some are more defensively astute. And Xhaka's more of a powerhouse, but he's not really. Do you know what I mean? He's not silky in them like a Bernardo Silva, one of those kind of players. So. Yeah, I've noticed there's a lot of questions coming at me, so I'm just hoping.
No, it's my final thing. I'm here
playing tennis and back.
No, but the thing is, you're returning them. You are actually returning them. Nobody serve the ace out here, so you do the thing, man. That's what you're here for. You got to back your boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all love. And you know what? Everyone's takes is like what you're saying is completely correct. And sometimes as an Arsenal fan, you can't see certain things, especially when you're winning. You're only seeing it good, and you lot might see something we ain't seeing just yet. So I'm loving the questions, to be fair, man.
Yeah. Anyway, my score prediction, as much as I probably want to say something else, I think it will be a 1-1. Were you playing at Villa Park or
Newcastle? Villa Park, yeah.
1-1. I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure. We're
gonna go Newcastle, Liverpool.
Please.
You know what? Yeah, I am actually gonna start with you, Stoney. Are you not back?
No, come on.
Listen,
there's no false pretense here, okay? So we got a result against Everton. Currently we're the only team in the Premier League that have beaten Newcastle. I'm just gonna put that out there. Stats don't lie. So the return leg up at St James's Park, anything's gonna happen. I still believe that we're gonna win 2-1. Are we gonna play amazing? No, we're not. But as long as we get a result, we get a result. Look, we beat Newcastle. We've had a very indifferent season, and I think Newcastle have had an amazing season. And they're currently in 4th. You know, throughout the whole season, they've been in the Champions League position. If we beat Newcastle, this is the most bizarre thing under the sun. If we beat Newcastle, we're in the same amount of games and only 6 points behind them. How on earth does that work? considering how horrendous
That's what it
we've
is.
actually played this season. If we beat Newcastle, same amount of points, we're 6 points behind them. It makes no sense. It doesn't. It really makes no sense. But as I said, I'm looking forward to the game. We're not fearful. I think they had actually a little wobble against Bournemouth the previous game as well. So yeah, I'll be happy if Klopp feels the same team that we had against Everton, then I'll be happy. No concerns going into this Newcastle game at all. Everyone's silent.
Newcastle, when's the last time they lost at home? They haven't lost at home this season, have they?
Yeah.
No, they haven't in the league.
No, they've only lost once though, Pat.
They've only lost one game, yeah.
They've only lost one game.
Yeah, and they haven't lost it at home. That was away, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. We beat them at Anfield.
But yet you're going to go and get two. Saying that, Newcastle have dropped off a
That's
shape
what I'm
last
saying.
weekend.
And you know what the key thing is? I'm unsure. One of you guys from the panel is probably going to be able to answer the question, or somebody that's in our comments. They've also dropped off because Bruno Gomes hasn't been playing, and their midfield.
And he's not going to play on Saturday.
Changed.
Yeah, he's not going to play over the weekend as well.
Yeah, the dimension and the way in which they've played has been completely strange. So, that's why what's given me that little bit more confidence that we're going to get the result. As I said, we are not back. We are not going to be playing amazing, but I'm confident that we're going to get the result.
Virgil's back though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But I don't think he's going to start. I think it's still going to be Matip and Gomez, and Virgil's just probably going to get some game time before we play Real Madrid. So I envisage us fielding the exact same team that we had against Everton.
Not about Jota.
Same thing. Jota will be on our bench. Remember, he got a couple minutes, and so did Bobby as well. I think Jota managed to get 20 minutes, and Bobby got 10 minutes. So I just see it being the exact same thing. There's no rush to get these players back.
I just think it's a bit too early to say Liverpool are back because.
No, we're definitely
against Everton. That game against Everton is like regardless of however badly or well you're playing, you'll always play like how you play against Everton. It's like Everton is one of, especially Everton at Anfield. Their record. When's the last time they beat you at Anfield? Like
I don't know, but they're always fearful of that result anyway. So that's what I'm saying.
So I don't think that's a good
it's not
prediction of how you lot are. So
no.
But this game will say a lot actually. So I still think I don't know. What prediction did you make?
2-1. I believe that we're going to have a 2-1 victory. Same result that we had at Anfield in August.
Bumpy score prediction then.
Yeah. So I've just got to be a draw. I actually think it's going to be a Desmond. It's going to be a Desmond 2-2. It's going to be a Desmond.
I thought he was going to say it was a Ninja Monday or something.
For me, one of the things that we have to point out is that even though Newcastle is fourth at the moment, the last few games, bar the second to last one, it's all been draws.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Newcastle haven't been outperforming the way that people think that they are. Just because they got the moolah doesn't mean that they've been performing the way that everyone forgets that. It's good to see them higher up because obviously they haven't been the best. You know, everyone always thinks of Shearer and that, but they're doing well, but they're not magnificent.
They're not scoring, are they? They're not scoring.
No, they're not. They're not scoring it. So for me, although everything in my blood hates to say this, and you don't understand how hard this is to say.
Say it, go on.
Oh, it's just, I'm going to get disowned by my family. I think 2-1 to Liverpool. I think Liverpool's going to surprise them. I think they should play the same team against Stop it, Mr. B. I think they should play the exact same team they played against Everton. I know the Everton derby is important, but I just feel like the feel that they gave, if they do that to Newcastle, it's going to be the same thing and they will win. I think that is the right strategy to go with it. Hopefully they'll be on a high. And Newcastle's the one that's got everything to lose in this match. Liverpool doesn't, which is even more so better to the enemy. But yeah, I'm going 2-1 for Liverpool.
No, I'm just laughing at some of the chats that coming in, some of the predictions.
It's a good one at the bottom, I see as well.
Yeah,
Get on
yeah, that's coming. Don't worry, I'm going to start that one.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let me go. Again, I can't. Yeah, Newcastle don't score much, and Liverpool again they're getting them attacking players back in. However, I think their problem has been more defensively this season. It's kind of says draw 1-1, but I think Liverpool will nick it. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool.
And what's your prediction, Mr. B?
I expect a Liverpool win. I'll be honest. I'm expecting like a 3-1. I think Newcastle are going to get done. I think they're going to have their head on the final, and with Liverpool players coming back, I think you lot are going to do them. I think they're going to expect them to come out. You know, last game all excited, and you lot are going to crush them. First half, I think the game will be over.
Also,
I go 3-1.
Can you please foul them a lot? Or
Can you please foul them a lot? I agree with what
you know, that's a good one.
Listen, Liverpool ain't doing no favours to Man United. Listen.
Your personality, you'll do favours whether you like it or not.
Joe Linton, Trippier. Yeah, you know, just a little raking or something like that. It's not nothing too major. Keep him out for a week. We'll take that. Boy, Spursy, West Ham. I'm actually going to save you to last on P, because I think you probably have a lot to answer to. Hamza.
Yeah, I don't. It just depends what turns up. Is Conte there, or is he still in Italy?
No,
he's still in Italy.
No, it's got worse actually. He came back, and then he said that the operation was more serious than he had expected, and all the medical staff and everything basically, because it should have been 4 weeks that he had recovery, and he came back after a week instead of 4 weeks. So basically, he's had a setback in it. So now he's back. He's gone back to Italy. So yeah, Stellini's in charge.
Yeah, you'll win then. You'll win. So, West Ham are indifferent as well, aren't they? So, I don't even know what you're going to get with Tottenham. I really don't at the moment. And really, honestly, Tottenham should win, but you never know. I'm going to go with 2-2 draw. Let's keep it simple. Yeah, I'll go 2-2.
He's going for another. He's going for another Desmond.
Yeah, another Desmond.
Okay. Next.
I'll go because I'm dancing to this one. This is the feat of Justice and Doom. East London with the Hammers, and then North, and the hate flows through these teams. This is serious. And West Ham is really good at upsetting people. They are they're really, really good at upsetting. And I honestly think that no matter where West Ham is in the table, it doesn't matter because they don't want to win. I don't think West Ham wants to win the league. I just think they want to just pee everyone off instead. I think it's their mission. Just like Wolves is the same. Wolves doesn't want to win. Wolves just wants to pee everyone off. That's the problem. So I'm actually thinking if Spurs doesn't score in the first half, West Ham's going to brutalise them. Spurs needs to come out and score in the first half and show West Ham that North London is better than East London. They need to go look at our new stadium. This is our place. If you don't score, I feel like West Ham's going to get you.
It's at the Tottenham Stadium.
Yeah, and I feel like you need to prove yourselves because the problem is with West Ham. It's the kind of thing what you said. Someone said about Liverpool and Everton, like you said yourself. There's certain matches that are completely different, and this is one of those matches. And you know they're going to come for you. And they've got nothing to lose. What are they, 16th or 17th in the league? Yeah. They've got nothing to lose, and that's the problem. So I think it's either going to be a Desmond. I'll take a Desmond as well.
this new team.
Or it's going to be I'm going to go 2-1 to West Ham. Only if you haven't scored in the first half.
Okay.
Who have I missed? Because I know I've missed somebody.
Yourself.
Oh shit. I'll be honest. I'm gonna go a Spurs win. I think you'll do it be tight. David Moyes is such a shit manager. They gave him all that power at West Ham, and this is exactly where they are. So I think you lot are going to murder them. To be fair, I think it's going to be a 3 or a 4. Anthony Herbert obviously thinks that Spurs are this, but we'll see. There was one comment in here. I don't know where it's gone. Oh, here we go.
Donovan
These are going
Williams,
crazy.
look at that.
Well, it will be an own goal or 2.
Goodness, that's crazy.
I don't know. This one for you. This is one for you, Gamza.
I hope not. To be fair, no, I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not going to get that political answer. I'll take it on the chin. If we finish behind you, lot, we're going to get it. And we deserve it. Do you know what I mean? So, regardless, my thoughts, my brain, the analytical side of me, where I'm saying, actually, you look at United's team on paper, you're a better squad than ours. This United team finished second a couple of years ago and you've added in Varane.
So
you should be finishing.
So all of a sudden now, all of a sudden we're a better squad than you. All of a sudden we're a better squad than you.
We do it on another show.
We go
pound for pound.
So you know what? We know, because your chat is being retracted so quickly. Because I'm sure when there was all of these, mixed teams. Who's in this team? He ain't getting in ahead of this person. He ain't getting in ahead of, and now all of us go, you know what, Gamza? Yeah, we will have this again. We will have this again.
Permanent, you know what I mean? When you got that much,
Mr. B, you all know what it's like. You go for it, and then the sun shines in your eyes and you see the truth, and he saw the truth. Let him testify we are better.
You know, the funniest thing is, I was praying you lot didn't get rid of Ronaldo, because from when he signed, I remember I said it to you lot before, he signed you with
I felt the same thing.
When they were saying, I was like, please don't sack him, just keep him there, there.
Yeah, that's me as well. That was me as well.
Yeah, you've seen what's happened since he's left.
Big up Piers Morgan, the Ginal. Yeah, he thought he was causing chaos. What's he done?
Yeah,
he's United team. So yeah. Here we go. Donovan Williams. How can United be a better squad? We have kids in the squad. Manu, Garnacho, Palestra, Iqbal.
Only one. Garnacho's the one that plays out of them lot. So
no, Palestra is good as well.
They're good. I'm not saying they're not good. They're good youngsters, but only one really plays in that first or in that team.
Yeah, true. Palestra's.
But no, what I say with that again, this is the United team that did finish second under Ollie not so long ago. It's only been.
Oh Lord have mercy! Do you know what we're gonna say? I want to Gamza. Can I have a one-on-one with you? We'll do a show one-on-one. We'll do a show one-on-one, because we ain't even got time for this right now, because this is a whole CALLULA.
I'm getting my holy water for this.
We need a deeper dive on this, because joy is I hear United fans talking about the rebuild that you lot needed, and it did look like you needed a rebuild, but Ten Hag's come in and done a really good job with what he's got, and actually the rebuild is probably not necessary. It's probably just a couple of additions. So we all know you need a striker, and maybe another winger just to help out, because obviously Rashford's doing his thing, but the other two aren't really delivering. But the signing of Casemiro is just, and I've heard United fans been calling it for years, saying you need a proper DM, and that's just completely transformed you lot. So when people compare his job to Arteta's job, I don't really see the comparison, because we did need to clear out everything. If you look at what Arteta started with to what we've got now, is one player starting. Apart from that, you know what I mean? El Nene and them lot ain't really starters. So Xhaka's the only one that really has stayed consistent. But I don't think, I just feel what Ten Hag's done, we thought players were dead and buried before Ten Hag come in. He's revitalized them and then added some key additions. So yeah, I can't knock what he's done as a job. He's done a really good job with you lot. But I think United fans are talking this rebuild talk, and Arteta's taken 3 years. Ten Hag's done it in 8 months. But the squads are completely different. What we inherited to what Ten Hag inherited.
Tell you what, though, with that Qatar money, that rebuild will take place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's a big rebuild. You're taking 2-3.
But on time though, but those owners, they're not for play. Like this is Qatar, and they're like, do you know what I mean? They're even more basically like they're not going to be doing anything. See, the difference is, you see, like with Newcastle, when they got the takeover, obviously, I know people laugh at financial fair play, but there is a thing. I mean, Newcastle haven't won 50 pence. Like, how can they offset any money like to spend it? Like, do you know what I mean? The only people that support them are actually live in Newcastle. So like, it's not like anybody else is buying their merchandise or anything. So it's like, do you know what I mean? So it's like
It's a load of burner, isn't it?
but whereas United, like they can more or less buy anyone. They could buy Mbappe. They can make a business case to say why they've earned enough money. They can sign Mbappe. Do you know what I mean? It's a different world. Like with them, it's money.
Unethical.
Ooh, wow.
It's unethical, man. If you lot do it, I don't rate it. I don't rate you lot if you lot go back to winning things and spend all that money, man. United fans been dissing other teams for years about spending.
Gums up. All I will say to you is jealousy. That's how I'm gonna leave it, because you know what? We don't even have time to go into all of this. They've bid. All they've done is been to the shop and come with the raffle. That's it. They haven't won the lottery yet. You know what I mean? We're excited for various reasons. They're gone. Our owners are gone. So whichever way it works out, we're gonna throw a party. You know what I mean? So we just
to be and Kallula. Which owner do you want to have though? How would you feel about having Mr. Radcliffe?
Right, I'm really dubious about him. The fact he's got other teams, the debt that he's got on his company. That's what I'm really dubious about. He hasn't got the funds. Yeah, he hasn't got them. You know, don't get me wrong. It's like going to the shop and buying all the things from Asda and then realising you've got 50 pence and you've got 100 quid. That's the thing. So I want the person. I want someone that can afford it. One of the things, Mr. B, I'm really sorry, but I have to go back to the gunner and say, how does it feel that you always get the cast-offs from Chelsea?
Oh, mate, listen.
You're on about money. You're on about not liking us for money, but you guys don't have to recruit because you just wait for them to be bought at Chelsea and you take them.
You don't understand the pain I suffer sometimes with these £35 million bids with 10 million installments. We give you a voucher from Amazon. I'm done with it, man. I'm done. I don't want to hear no more Klarna payments, bonuses on league appearances and finishes. I just want us to pay money and buy a player. Like, I don't even care if we're not signing £72 million player, but if you've got a target,
I'm not gonna lie. The one that got me was Willian. That one for me was the one for you guys. I was thinking, guys, come on now, you're better than this.
Listen, mate, the Jorginho was not as bad, but Willian hurt me. Like, nothing's worse than Silvestre at that time. I've had years of this. You know what I mean? This. What about
the remote controlled central defender as well?
Eukyria?
No, the one that Gary Neville said is like a remote, like you're playing on a computer game.
David Luiz.
Yeah, David Luiz. Yeah.
We've had our fair share. I'm going to take this today. I knew I was getting it today. You finally got me, but I'm living rent free with you now.
Sorry, I can't help it.
No, it's all good. Now as I said, you win some, you lose some with signings. Our signings of late haven't been bad. It's just the time it takes us to get it done winds me up at the moment, because we've seen, do you know what I mean, teams like Martinez was in the summer. We probably could have got him if we went first, but we haggled. Then United come in and said, actually, we're taking, once you didn't get Timber, put the money up, got it done. Mudrik's the same thing. Caicedo, like it's just countless amounts of Vlahovic last year, Locatelli the year before, Bruno Guimaraes. Like, you can go on for weeks and weeks of players that we're not signing. So yeah, and again, you see now United might have extra money. Who knows if Tottenham are what they're gonna do? But there's Chelsea are going crazy. Liverpool can't be as bad as what they are. City are always going to be in and around it. It's like this was our best opportunity, because all the other teams are going to improve again in the summer.
Still 15 games left. There's still 16 games left.
Yeah, but you know, this isn't our time of year, is it? What I can say is we were the 2022 champions. I'm going to leave on that note. 2023 is not our year, boy. But now we'll see what happens. I'm not writing it off this season. Like, City still haven't been the City we've seen of old, so they still could drop points, I think. But again, United are in the hat now.
What do you think needs to change in your team then for this final for you to get over the line?
Xhaka out. I don't even know. I think we just got to do what we can do and hope City aren't as strong as what they have been in previous years. I think whoever wins it this year is not going to win with the same amount of points as what is being won in the last few years.
The high ones.
Yeah. So I think it will be a bit of a lower score. So we just got to try and just keep putting points on the board and almost maybe now because we're behind, because we saw it last year when we was the underdogs and wasn't holding on to things, we seem to have played better. Once we got back in front of Tottenham, it's like the pressure mounts on us. And again, we are a really young team. So maybe it might help us to be chasing for a few weeks, rather than, because every week it is the same talk when Arsenal are going to drop points. Commentators galore are talking about it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it just got a bit too much, but it's football, the Premiership. There's no easy game. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, every game I kind of go into, I'm thinking that is sticky. That is sticky. I don't think I look at any fixture and think it's an easy game. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it is what it is. I was going to say, I've got to look at it, start of the season, what did I expect from Arsenal? I wasn't expecting to be here at this point, even though we dropped off, we still wasn't expecting to be joint on points with City with a game in hand. So long term, it should be still seen as a good season. But the thing for me is, I think if it was United in this position, I would say don't even stress about not winning the league this year, because you lot will go and invest properly in the summer and we'll go again. Whereas Arsenal, I'm not convinced we're going to do what it takes in the summer to really push on again. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's the difference with, I think, Arsenal, Chelsea and United being in this position right now. I feel you lot would do the right things in the summer, whereas I think Arsenal and Tottenham are always making mistakes when they have an opportunity to go and push on. So I'm just going to enjoy the rest of this season for what it is, hope for the best. Hopefully you lot ain't got no clips of me doing my dancing on that. And then we go again. But yeah, it does feel nice to be actually spoken about in this manner at the moment, though, because for years it hasn't been anything about title charges or being in the top 2 or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? It's been can we get into the top 4? Can we break into the top 4? So
or been about 8th or 7th, isn't it?
7. Well, we have Raz. I don't even know. I don't know that low. You have to talk to the Liverpool man about being that low, because I don't remember that low. But
wow,
but yeah, hopefully we can just maintain. Hopefully we can maintain.
Guys, it's that time. As always, it's been a pleasure, man. Callula, thank you very much. Stoney, thank you very much. We will. Don P, thank you very much, man. Guys in the chat, if you're still here, please hit the like, hit and the subscribe button. Yeah, I waffled it, but look, it's late. Allow me. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Cheers.